Hello, hello, hello. I am Anjanette. So I am a nurse, a holistic practitioner, leaky gut, thyroid, and weight loss expert, and I put people in a body they love. And this is Journey Home. So on this show, we talk a little bit about my life and what's going on and why I'm out here helping people and why this is so important to me, right? So I'm also an author and I have been writing a lot of books this year. Yes, and they're all going to festivals. Some are going to Los Angeles, and some are going to Beijing, and others are heading off to Seoul. And I'm really excited about that because that message that I'm trying to share with people really gets out into the world. So a lot of people think you build a business for yourself, but you're really not building this for yourself at all. You're really building this for your family and their generation, right? So a lot of the books that I do are based on things that really go on in my own life. It's really not that hard to create a story if it comes from a heart-centered place, right? So I feel like society is missing things that we used to have in society, like empathy and compassion, things that are really hallmarks of my profession as a nurse, right? And as someone who helps people with their health and just good friends and family and the person that I want to be in the world, right? So we're not teaching empathy and compassion to our children. I think that some of these values are getting lost. So I've been writing children's books too on values and virtues and just things that I think we really need to teach our children more of. So there's children that are always disappearing throughout the world. Very, um, very rare for a day to go where you don't turn on the news and hear that a child is missing. And we hope that no harm comes to these children, but people are taking children for their own needs and services or whatever reasons they're taking these children, right? And I thought I should do a book on stranger danger. So that book is out there. Okay, so that's Brave Bunny and Little Fox, and he's heading to LA, right? So we talk about the importance of trusting our instincts and trusting the people that care about us, right? So that book is a nice way to teach your children about stranger danger without um, scaring a child, I guess you could say, and how it's important to listen to those voices inside of us because they are always speaking to us, right? So I'm working on a forest series now that I just did a book on homelessness. So I think we have a lot of homelessness in the world today, and some people are down on their luck. So there are people that choose not to conform to societal norms and they choose to live homeless. But there are a lot of people that just really hard on their luck and bad things happen to really good people. And I want us to be able to look at people with empathy and compassion and not with discontent or contempt. But understand that, people are hard on their lucks, and the only way that we can really help them through that is to have that empathy, have that compassion, and realize, but for the grace of God, there go I. That could be any one of us. So I want people to look at them in a different way than we actually are experiencing it globally, right? So I also I did geriatric nursing for a really long time. Probably the nursing that I loved the most. You learn so much from the people that have come before us, right? And they love to share stories of times past and stuff, and you can really get lost in their stories. And they take care of us as much as we take care of them, even in the nursing realm. And I wanted to do something for our aging population because society has this notion that once you become a certain age that you don't offer as much value. Maybe it's when people retire, maybe it's um, when they start to lose cognitive ability because of disease processes or the natural aging process. But I want people to remember those people, not just the shell of what they're seeing, those people that have provided value and helped raise communities throughout their life. So I just published that one. Um, so yes, that's Whispers of the Oak. And I'm just out here trying to create a world that I want to live in. And I'm hoping you want to live in that world too, right? So I did a book, Underwater on Addiction, A World Drowning in Addiction. So I make no attempt to hide the world that I've come from, or that, that's a chapter of my life. It's not who I am. But I think people look at addiction and they see it as a certain class in life. And addiction doesn't really know any class. It can happen to anybody. And there are people pleasers and overachievers and emotional eaters and overeaters and sex addicts and so many other things, not just addicts and alcoholics, and they're all addiction. And a lot of those are tied to emotional traumas that we experience. And I personally experienced a lot of trauma growing up in my childhood. And that was my way of coping with it, right? It wasn't a healthy coping mechanism by any stretch of the imagination, but that's actually what it is. That's what addiction is. And instead of looking at people and saying, what's wrong with them, I'd like you to look at them and say, what happened to them, you know, and maybe be more compassionate and more empathetic with them too. Because if we keep these stigmas around addiction, then we're losing children, we're losing people on a day-to-day basis. The same with mental health and depression and all those things. I suffered through depression, horrible depression. I lost um, people that were very close to me, my family, friends, and it was traumatic. It was very depressing. I suffered for a really long time when I lost my sister. I threw myself into work. I didn't grieve. I just avoided it. So all different kinds of situations bring us to places that we are in our life. And we have to try to learn better ways of coping, certainly, but we don't have to be so patronizing or disillusioned that it can't help happen to us, because but for the grace of God, go on, right? But when we look down our nose at other people because we don't understand it, so this book is my attempt to get people to maybe see themselves in a different light, because I didn't just suffer with alcohol. Everything that I liked, I had that addictive personality. It was passed down to me, I guess. Because I was physically allergic to alcohol. It wasn't just emotional with me. Um, and if I like chocolate, I liked a lot of chocolate. I felt good. I wanted to feel really good. I just had that addictive personality. I had that need to keep those endorphins going, and I had to learn better ways of coping. And when I worked into the rooms of AA, that those rooms saved my life. People didn't look at me and judge me. They just saw me as someone that really needed help, and they opened their hearts and my world again. So, this book is my way of reaching back into those waters. So I do live readings of our books, not just my books, other authors' books, because I want to get their message out as well too. I want people to release that voice and start that healing process because these things do keep us stuck in life. They keep us in those bodies where we feel like we can't lose weight. They keep us in those jobs that we hate. They keep us in those relationships that just aren't working. It's all those beliefs that we've created about ourselves and our lives that keep us in the situations that we're in. So it's my hope that by sharing my stories that it will help people see the commonality and maybe grow or experience a little of that healing themselves. So a lot of people don't understand the concept of the body. So I want to break it down into a way that I think people can really understand it. I want you to imagine looking up at the night sky and only seeing black, not seeing the stars, not seeing the moon, any of the other planets circling. And if you only saw that black sky, you wouldn't have the complete picture of what that sky really entails, what the night sky is, because you wouldn't see all the other pieces of sky, the stars, right? Just like the universe. It has the planets, and that's probably a better way of explaining it. The universe is full of galaxies and stars and suns and moons, right? But when we only look at a small portion, we're only seeing a very small portion of the universe. We're maybe only seeing daylight, maybe we're only seeing, nighttime or the stars or the moon or the planets. And that's kind of what society and the marketing system has done to the body. It makes doctors go to school for very long periods of time to break down the body so that they can study a specific generalization. And the body keeps getting sicker, and nobody's listening to that. Those numbers keep going up. Death rates are happening quicker at younger ages. People are more obese than they've ever been, more people with hypertension, cancer, diabetes than ever before in history, and the numbers keep rising. But people keep separating a system that's meant to be together, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. So there are different parts of us, just like there are different parts of that night sky or the universe, right? And when we only look at that one piece, we fail to see how it works together, and we're missing something, right? I was talking to someone last night who actually studies Chinese medicine. Great guy. He's definitely going to be on one of my upcoming shows. But we were talking about just that, and how people keep coming through those revolving doors because they just want that immediate problem fixed. But it's only surface. Nobody's dealing with the root cause. And I personally I'm glad that I took the time to get to the root cause analysis of my disease processes and everything that was going on with me, because I never suffered again. Never had to diet again to lose that weight. I don't have any thyroid issues anymore. All of my autoimmunes are gone. And I'm in a body I love 15 years later. So, same body. So, fixing and slapping a band-aid on the situation are very different. And we continue to slap a band-aid on the situation, right? Um, Everything people eat is a diet. Everything is a diet. It's just a matter of finding things that work in your body and things that don't. It needs to align with who you are as a person and your beliefs about yourself. If you believe you can achieve better health, then you absolutely will not, because that thought is in your mind. So that thought is making you choose things that tell you you can achieve it instead of things that tell you you can, right? Um, just like a job you don't think you're qualified for, you're probably not going to go apply for that job, right? So it's the same thing with health, with wealth, with everything people are out there trying to achieve. They have it in their head that they are not qualified to achieve those things. And you are qualified. You are a human being. We are at the top of qualification. There is nothing better in this world than the human existence, right? You are substantially amazing. I can't even say that, but I don't even know the right way to say that. But I want you to stop always looking outside. This is my hope for you, that you start looking in and seeing what's really going on with you, right? And listening to that body that's always talking to you every day and telling you exactly what's going on if you're listening. It tells you when you're hungry. It tells you when you're full. It tells you when you're sad. It tells you when you're happy. All those hormones that are regulating your body all day long are reacting. And instead of being reactionary to them, you should be a part of the process by listening to them and adjusting your body's alignment, right? Taking that energy and using it to fuel your body instead of diminish your body. Okay. So I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, but I haven't been in a while. And I really wanted to come in and talk to you and tell you about the things that I'm out there doing. And I hope that if you're out there trying to do something and you're struggling with that, that you will reach out to me. I've had a lot of obstacles in my way, none that were my doing, and then I've had some that were all my doing. That lack of belief, that self-loathing, and all those things that came with that life that I didn't love. Um, really stopped me from moving forward and doing things I wanted to do and listening to other people and their stories about who I could become and what I was capable of. So if you're one of those people and you just need somebody to cheer you on, I'm happy to do that for you because I absolutely believe that you can achieve anything you want in this world. And I'm out there proving it every day. But I wouldn't know what I could achieve if I didn't try, right? So whether it's a new job you're going for, a new body you want to get into, you just got to have that conversation because it does listen to what everything you're telling yourself does make a difference in that process. So I just wanted to come in and spend some time with you. I hope you've enjoyed this session of A Journey Home, and I will see you soon. Have a great night.